David Beckham just posted photos from his beautiful new home on social media. But it's not what you would expect. It's not a mansion, a pool, or a luxury retreat. Welcome to Miami Freedom Park, a $1 billion soccer stadium that is being built on top of a swamp, next to one of the world's busiest airports, in the middle of Hurricane Alley. Most engineers would run because of the land condition. But Beckham has been planning this for 18 years. Every 2 minutes, a 747 thunders overhead at 160 feet. Summer storms flood the site weekly. Category 5 hurricanes could flatten the whole thing. Yet somehow, impossibly, it's actually working. By 2026, Lionel Messi will call this place home. So let's break down, how are they pulling this off? Back in 2007, Beckham signed with LA Galaxy to help grow soccer in America. His $250 million contract made headlines worldwide. But hidden in that contract was a clause that would change everything. The right to buy an MLS team, later at a discount rate of just $25 million. At the time, that clause seemed worthless. MLS was struggling to fill half-empty stadiums. Expansion teams were rare, and most lost money. But Beckham was betting on something others couldn't see, that American soccer was about to explode. He was right, of course, but getting from that contract clause to actual shovels in the ground, that took another 16 years of fighting, planning, and solving problems that would have broken most people. After Beckham retired, he partnered with Jorge and Jose Mas, two Cuban-American businessmen who knew Miami's political landscape better than anyone. In 2018, MLS officially awarded them an expansion franchise. The catch? They needed to find a stadium site and get it approved. Their first idea was building by the water at Port Miami. Miami-Dade County rejected it because of traffic concerns and potential disruption to port operations. Then they tried downtown, near Marlins Park, in 2016. City officials killed that too, preferring the baseball stadium to remain the area's main attraction. For 3 years, every proposal got rejected. Critics called Beckham's vision unrealistic for Miami's crowded urban landscape. Then they found this golf course in Grapeland Heights. It was 131 acres right next to Miami International Airport. Most developers wouldn't touch it, because planes fly overhead constantly and the FAA restricts building heights. But Beckham saw potential here. Getting approval took another 3 years. They needed a public referendum in 2019, facing heavy opposition from environmental groups and neighboring communities. It passed up with 60% support. Then, city commissioners had to approve a 99-year lease, which didn't happen until April 2022. After 15 years of planning and fighting, Beckham finally had his site. Which now brings us to the engineering challenge. Miami Freedom Park isn't just a stadium. It's more like building a small city from scratch. The 25,000-seat soccer stadium is the centerpiece, designed by Arquitectonica and HOK. And around this centerpiece, they're building everything else you'd need for a complete destination. There's a 58-acre public park, which is bigger than anything else in Miami. Kids can play soccer on the same fields where professionals practice. Families get green space in a city that's mostly concrete and asphalt. This addresses a real need, since Miami ranks among the lowest major cities for park space per resident. Not only that, but the soccer village will have restaurants, shops, and bars spread across hundreds of thousands of square feet. It's designed so people can walk everywhere instead of driving. A 750-room hotel and 400,000 square feet of office space will bring in business travelers and tech companies, and will hopefully create a year-round economy beyond just game days. Earlier, parking was a nightmare to figure out. They need 5,100 spaces for game days, but putting them all on the surface would have eaten up the entire site. So they're building underground garages and multi-level structures that blend into the landscape. Some parking levels are actually built underneath the practice soccer fields. The smartest move might be the transit connection. They're building a pedestrian bridge directly to Miami's intermodal center, where Metrorail, Tri-Rail, and bus lines converge. On game days, thousands of fans can reach the stadium without adding a single car to Miami's already congested highways. It's basically 5 different construction projects happening at once. But if you know about Miami, you know that building anything massive here creates problems you rarely face anywhere else. The ground is basically a swamp that floods during summer rainstorms. Hurricanes hit every few years with devastating force. And this site sits right next to Miami International Airport, which creates massive restrictions. The water issue is massive. Melreese Golf Course sat on Miami's high water table, which means the ground stays saturated year-round. During construction, they have to run pumps 24/7 just to keep the worksite dry. Every foundation requires waterproofing and drainage systems. Steel pilings had to be driven 40 feet down into bedrock to create stable footing for structures that will rise 160 feet. Then there's hurricane season, which runs from June till November every year. Florida building codes require everything to withstand Category 5 winds. That's 185 miles per hour, strong enough to turn debris into missiles. The stadium's steel frame is anchored with foundations that extend deep underground. The roof system is designed to flex with extreme winds, instead of fighting them, which would cause structural failure. But the airport created the most unusual problems. Federal Aviation Administration rules limit all building heights to 160 feet to avoid interfering with flight paths. Stadium lighting systems can't create glare that might blind pilots during takeoffs and landings. Even the roof design had to be approved by the FAA to ensure it wouldn't interfere with radar systems. An early Miami-Dade County report found that several parts of the original design would violate airport safety regulations. The development team had to completely redesign the lighting systems and modify the roof profile. It's like trying to build a major venue in a flood zone during hurricane season, while commercial aircraft pass overhead every 2 minutes. Every engineering decision has to solve multiple problems simultaneously. Despite all these constraints, the final design looks like it belongs in Miami. Arquitectonica, the same firm that helped design Miami's iconic skyline, created flowing curves and open spaces that capture ocean breezes. Instead of a closed dome that blocks out Florida's climate, it's an open-air bowl with a translucent roof that protects fans from rain, while maintaining that tropical atmosphere. That roof system is the key innovation. It's made of high-tech fabric stretched across steel cables. Every seat stays dry during Miami's notorious afternoon thunderstorms, but fans can still feel connected to the sky and ocean air. The seating bowl wraps around the field in a continuous curve, with no corners or dead spots where fans feel disconnected from the action. This 360-degree bowl design creates what architects call continuous energy. The crowd noise bounces around the entire structure instead of getting lost in corners. The color palette tells Miami's story: ocean blues, sunset pinks, and clean whites that reflect the city's Art Deco heritage. Large video screens will wrap around the exterior, turning the entire building into a landmark visible from Interstate 95 and downtown Miami. What makes the design special is how open it feels even when packed with 25,000 people. The curved concourses and transparent materials create sightlines that connect the interior to the surrounding park and the Miami skyline. It's architecture that celebrates Miami's outdoor culture instead of hiding from it. Then Lionel Messi changed everything. In July 2023, while construction was going on, the greatest soccer player in history stepped off a plane in Miami. The impact was immediate and massive. Before Messi's arrival, Inter Miami averaged 12,600 fans per game in their temporary Fort Lauderdale stadium. After Messi joined, attendance jumped to 20,000, even in the smaller venue. Season ticket prices nearly doubled and still sold out within hours. The team's social media following exploded to 15 million followers, more than any NFL, MLB, or NHL team. Revenue more than doubled from $50 million in 2022 to over $120 million in 2023. Every home game became a global television event, with viewers tuning in from South America, Europe, and Asia. Suddenly, Miami Freedom Park wasn't just a local MLS project. It needed to be worthy of one of the world's most famous athletes. For the construction teams, this added pressure nobody had planned for. The stadium couldn't just meet MLS standards. It had to match the expectations that come with hosting Messi, who's accustomed to playing in Barcelona's Camp Nou and Paris Saint-Germain's Parc des Princes. Beckham understood. The stakes had changed completely. Walking through the construction site, he could see his 18-year vision becoming something bigger than he'd ever imagined. This wasn't just about bringing soccer to Miami anymore. This was about building a stage worthy of legends. As of June 2025, Miami Freedom Park is at a crucial point. The foundation and lower bowl are done. Steel framing is on schedule. The 2026 opening is still possible, but there's no room for delays. When it opens, Inter Miami will finally have a permanent home in their namesake city, instead of playing in Fort Lauderdale. It means international matches, youth tournaments, and major concerts, in addition to MLS games. The second phase, more retail and entertainment, should open by late 2026. By then, Miami Freedom Park will work as originally planned, a year-round destination that serves the community every day, not just on game days. This positions Miami as a serious player in global soccer. When international teams visit, when major tournaments need a host, when the World Cup expands, Miami will have world-class infrastructure ready. The timeline is tight, but achievable. Miami Freedom Park proves that crazy ideas can work, if you stick with them long enough. The technical challenges are impressive. Building on swampland, next to an airport, in hurricane country, while creating a venue worthy of Messi. But the persistence, that's what's really remarkable. Would you hold on to a dream that long, with the whole city against you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more construction-related stories, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you in the next one.